Welcome to English 11 study session for lesson 541. My name is Leslie Farrington. I am out of Michigan. I know that I have a lot of people for the English 11 semester 2 class, so there's a good chance that you have me if you're watching this. And if not, then that's okay because it's all the same thing. We're going to talk about a couple things today. So first section is going to just be talking about what a works cited page is. Then we're going to do question and answer. The next section will be like what the specific lesson 5.4.1 looks like. And then we will do some more questions at the end. If you don't have the specific assignment that you're looking at, that's okay, because really the works cited pages are through the entire English course for all 4 grades, and you're going to need to do them anyway. So if you are looking at it, it doesn't have to be just for this lesson. Essential questions that we're going to be talking about tonight will be: what is the purpose of a works cited page? What needs to go on the page? Where do you find the information? How do you organize it once you have it? And why can't you stop with a bullet point list? First section we're going to talk about is what is the purpose. So does anybody have any ideas about what the purpose of a works cited page is? And I know there's only one student here, so sorry for putting you on the spot. If you have any ideas, go ahead and shout them out. And if not, I promise I'll help you out. All right. So the purpose of a works cited page is there's, a few different purposes, but we want to provide sources for the research that we're putting into our paper is the main goal for our works cited page. It makes the author, which is you, sound more knowledgeable, so that's always a plus. It helps avoid plagiarism. We want you to use your ideas that you find from other sources. We just want to make sure that you cite them so that whoever's reading your paper knows where those things came from. It also helps the reader find more information. So if you are reading somebody's article or paper and you really wanted to find out more information about it, you can go to their works cited page and do some extra research yourself if you're interested. It's also a good way to do research for your own writing, is to look at other people's works cited pages. There are a couple of websites that you can use to help yourself when you're trying to format a works cited page. I have 2 listed, and we're going to talk. I'll click through and show you both of them. The first one is Purdue OWL, and I know that Purdue OWL is on the actual course. Like, they give you that shout out to Purdue. It's the website that I've used my whole career as a student and a teacher, so it's definitely helpful. This is the actual website that you can type into your website, little bar to go to it. I'm just going to click on it because I have it right there. When you get to the Purdue OWL website, you have all these different options. The one that you're looking at specifically for English is the MLA. So you're going to use APA maybe for like writing different subject matter, but for English you want to focus on the MLA formatting guide. So you're going to click there. When you scroll down on this main page after you click on MLA, you're going to see really good details about like all the stuff that you have to find for when you're looking for the works cited citation. So you're going to find more details about where you find it and how it's going to look. If it's in italics, does it have a period or a comma after it, for every single little section, which I find very helpful, especially if you're doing something that you haven't usually cited in the past. So that's helpful. The next thing that I always look at when I'm trying to do online research is electronic sources. So if you go to the left-hand side, you scroll down to citing electronic sources, you click on there, and this gives you a lot of different types of citations. So in the assignments and in the lessons through Buzz, we give you like the main format for how to cite stuff. But I've noticed some people struggling with if they wanted to cite a tweet or a YouTube page or an article that maybe is a little bit different, an image. All of those things are on here. If you're finding it online, you should probably be able to find a way to cite it on this section of Purdue OWL. So that is something that I've found very helpful. If you go back up, you can also click on Works Cited Page Basic Format. When you click on the basic format, this gives you the basic rules for what it's going to look like when you actually create the page itself. And sometimes that's an issue for some people. So if you don't want to have to go back through all the lessons to find where that lesson was that told you what needs to be on or what it needs to look like, this would be a good place to go for a quick reference guide to just kind of remind you. Okay, clicking out of there. Oops, sorry about that.
The other website that's on here is easybib.com. So if you click on easybib.com, it's the same website that, it's just easybib.com. But when you pull it up, it's going to give you a couple of options, and you can check a paper, but you can also go through I only want to create citations, which is what I would use. It's going to give you the options for all these different citation types. We are using MLA, so you would click that. And then it's going to pull up, sorry about all these ads around it here, that's not helpful, but it's going to pull up MLA 8, and you can, it defaults to website. But you can also click down here, and it gives you a lot of different things that you can use here. It's not just for websites. But if you're using a website, because we're doing a lot of online research, this is where you're going to put your source website. So I'm going to click over and show you a source website. If you were researching Oprah Winfrey, you'd want to find a reputable, credible source. So Encyclopedia Britannica is a good source to use. So you would just click the website, copy it, then come over here and paste it, and then click cite. It's going to give you a second, and then you have to go through and click it a couple more times. While it gathers the information, you click cite again. It's going to show you all the information that they've found on the website. If you want to double check it, that'd be helpful. You can always go click back over here and look at it. This actually has, this website, the Encyclopedia Britannica has a little thing where you can see the source information is all right here too. But you can go back, double check, make sure that everything's correct. It lets you know that this is the one thing that they didn't see. So if there's somewhere you found that, you can put it in there. And the other thing that I would check is the date accessed. Sometimes this is incorrect. And actually, I found that when you get to the final citation, it doesn't actually always include it. So that's something you're going to want to check with also. So you click through here one more time, complete citation. And then it pulls it down. So you're going to scroll down here, and you'll see it right here. Okay, so then you're just going to copy and paste that into whatever you're using to create your citation. So if I go back over here, oops. Sorry about that. Go back over here to the slideshow. I typed out all the things I just said so that if you later are going through Purdue OWL and you wanted to like go to any of those specific spots, I typed them out. So if you wanted to pause the video at this point, you could, take a note or screen, split screen, and you can go to that website to kind of figure out what you needed to do there. Okay. The next part is questions. So does anybody have questions so far about what we are talking about, or needing help with anything here that I've said so far? I have to get back to my... Oops. All right. Well, then we'll just keep going. Okay, so the next section that I really wanted to talk about is what 5.4.1 looks like. The biggest thing that I've seen people make errors with that kind of do not help them in the end, let me put this back into the bigger view so you can see it better, is that people try to just put this in the comment section. There are a lot of assignments that are totally fine if you put them in the comment section, and it's not a big deal. For this assignment, though, it would be way easier to format it correctly if you put it in Google Docs, or if you put it on a Word document, or whatever kind of document you can use that you can do it correctly. It's probably possible to do it correctly in the Word or in the comment section if you cannot find a way to access something else. But chat me if you have that issue, because it'll be a little bit harder. Unless you're doing personal interviews, you should probably have, you should have more than one source. If you're doing a personal interview and you're just talking to the person, that's understandable that you really can't find more than one way to research somebody that you personally know. But if you are doing somebody famous, somebody you've never met, you want to find more than one source so that you have different opinions and ideas about that person. And then the way you get the information to use for this citation assignment specifically is from 5.2.1. When you did your outline for this
unit. In 5.2.1, you did a research your person that your mentor assignment, and you came up with concrete details about them, and then you cited a citation for each detail. So those are the citations that you're going to use in this assignment. So the first part of this assignment is actually gathering the information. So you can use something like EasyBib if you're comfortable doing that, and if you find it easy, great. And if you don't, that's totally fine, because you can go through and do it yourself also. For each source, you're going to gather the different information that you have here. So you need the author's name, always last name, and then the first name with a comma between them. You're going to need the title of whatever it is that you're using with quotation marks around it and a period at the end. It could be a magazine article, website, song, poem, whatever. Then you're going to need the title of the whole. So that's the actual name of the magazine, the name of the website, the name of the album or book or whatever you're using. It should be in italics with a period at the end. The next section is the version or volume number, the publisher, comma, date of publication. This is a little bit weird because they want you to format it day, then month, then year. The medium where you found it, which is going to be the page number, the paragraph number, or the word website. You're not putting the actual website address. You're going to put the word website. And then the date that you accessed it. When did you look at this website? Okay, so please do not fall into the trap of leaving your assignment like this. I get a lot of people that just submit the bullet point list because they didn't quite scroll down far enough and see that the next step is putting into the citation format. So we want to make sure that we always put our citations in the correct format. After you've located as much information as you can, you put it in this general order. If you don't have something, that's okay. If it's not a part of that website or it's not a part of that article, you're not required to put every single thing in if it's not there. But if it is there, you need to make sure that you have it. So this is the format it's going to look like. If you conduct a personal interview, use this format down here at the bottom. This name right here, I've had a couple of questions about this, is the name of the person who you interviewed. It's not your name, it's their name. So that's kind of like just a side note there. The formatting of the whole page is to start with the title Works Cited. If you don't have the title, if you don't have any one of these things, it brings you down about 11% right off the bat. If you miss like more than 2 of these things, it takes you down a lot in the grade. So you want to make sure that you have everything included, because if you're looking at the list and you're checking them off as you go, it's pretty straightforward and simple. But if you're just kind of like doing it, without looking at the list, you're going to miss some stuff and your grade's going to go down. So you start with the title Works Cited at the top of the page and it's centered. Then you go down and you enter your citations in alphabetical order. If you only have one citation, no problem. If you did a personal interview. But if you're using more than one citation, you need to make sure they're in alphabetical order. Then you're going to make sure the whole thing is double spaced, and you're going to put a hanging indent, which kind of looks like this. I am going to get out of here, and I'm going to show you on a Word document what that actually looks like. So when you are in the Word document, you're going to go through, center it, and write the title Works Cited. You need to make sure that you actually have Times New Roman and at least font 12 is what I would generally advise. And if it's not already double spaced, you're going to go, you should do this at the beginning. Mine's already double spaced. But you're going to go into format paragraph, and then line spacing is double. So if you don't have that set up yet, that's what you would need to do before you start the whole thing. After you've hit Works Cited as your title, you're going to go over here, left justify, which means you're going all the way to the left side of the paper. You need to go in and find your citation. So we're going to use the citation that we already did for the Oprah Winfrey article. And you're going to highlight it, copy it, and just drop it onto your paper. Something you're going to notice about stuff that you copy and paste into a Word document is that it does not any longer have the same formatting that you already had in there. So you're going to change it back to Times New Roman or Arial, make it back to size 12 font, and then you're going to make sure that all the stuff that you need in here is correctly put into this. The one thing that's missing from these citations when you use EasyBib is the access date. So you are going to go down here and write access, and then the day, the month, and the year. Okay, the last thing you need to do though, after you make this double spaced again, sorry. So you're going to go to format, paragraph, line spacing is double. Then the thing that I see most people forget to do on this assignment is that you need to make sure it has a hanging indent, which is really difficult to do if you're just trying to hit the tab button, because when you hit tab, it makes the whole thing move over, which is annoying. I don't know why it doesn't, it just does. But if you put the cursor at the beginning of the second line and you go up to Format Paragraph, you're going to see indentation, this little middle section right here. It says Special, and if you click that, you can click Hanging, and then it makes it a hanging indent. So that's perfect. When you hit Enter, it brings it back to the left side. So if you were doing, I'm going to just paste the same one, but if you were doing another, if you copied and pasted another one into here, you would just do the same thing again. You'd make it size 12, you'd go to the right thing, you'd go Format, Paragraph, and you could do this at the same time. Well, actually you can't, because you have to go over here to the edge. And hang indent. Okay, so once you have all of your things done, you're going to save this with the title that's easy for you to remember. You're going to go and you're going to turn it in. All right. Do we have any other questions? That went much faster than I planned on it going. Are there any questions anybody has about anything so far? All right. Then I guess I will all right. I'm going to go ahead and stop the share then, and if anybody has any questions, again, my name is Leslie Farrington. So if you have any more questions, please do feel free to send me a message, send me an email, you know, through chat or however you need to get a hold of me. So thank you very much for viewing the video.